Let's try to understand what is paradigm and how many paradigms exist in today's world. As a researcher, when we go to create a knowledge, so this is the very primary question before us: how we look at the world, how we understand the word or the term knowledge, and how we get this knowledge. So this is the question of the paradigm. Paradigm is the first question rises before us when we are going to create knowledge. I mean, when going to conduct our research activity. I think this question should be addressed by every student and every teacher who is connected or concerned with teaching our knowledge production, our knowledge dispersion. So paradigm, what is paradigm? So paradigm means these are the set of the principles and the values and the method. This is a system of values, methods and techniques which is adopted by a person or a group to create a knowledge or to conduct its knowledge activities, epistemological activities. If you are a student in literature, linguistic or culture, so what paradigm is suitable to read literature, to understand literature, or to produce knowledge in criticism and literature? So in today's world, there are three distinct paradigms exist. These are positivism, anti-positivism or interpretivism or constructivism, and critical theory. So in today's world, as a researcher or a critic in literature and culture and society, I have three paradigms to choose. Let me repeat again. These are three paradigms: positivism, constructivism, or interpretivism, and critical theory. So now let's try to understand one by one what it means by positivism and interpretivism and critical theory. Positivist paradigm. If we take positivist paradigm, then it means we are taking reality outside us, because positivist paradigm is the paradigm of the science and technology. And this paradigm takes reality as independent of the subject, exists outside us, and we can understand this reality through our reason and logic and understanding. And if we take this understanding and apply it to understand our social world, which is represented in our literature, so it means to understanding to the natural laws, we can understand the social world. This paradigm says, like natural world, our social world is also organized on some eternal principles. And through understanding and discovery of those principles, we can understand the social world. As in nature, there is determinism, there is a system, there is a mechanics, there are experiments, and we can generalize those experiments. Likewise, we can understand literature, culture, and society through the eternal laws and principles and through our experiment, and then we can generalize those results to all the societies. And in this way, we can understand literature, culture, and our social construction. So two very important elements are the feature of this paradigm is universality and generalization. It also says that it means nature is independent of the observer. So if we want to understand this nature, we can understand through the principles and the applications of our understanding and systematic way. It also says all the incidents, all the happenings in the society can be understood, and understanding of the one society can be applied to the understanding of another society. This is called generalizability. It means we can generalize our results to all the societies and find out their universal elements. So universalism and generalizability are the two important elements of this paradigm called positivism. It also says we can understand the Eastern societies as well as the Western societies, ancient times, present and the future societies, because all the societies are based on some eternal laws, and these laws can be understood and applied and generalized. So it entails naturally that if we understand the natural world, we can understand the social world. So it means it says that knowledge of the natural world can be modeled to understand the social world. It means the quantum physics rules or the laws of the physics helps us to understand the social laws. It means as through understanding of the natural world to the discovery of the laws, we can control the nature and we can conquer the nature and we can exploit the natural forces and resources. It means through understanding of the social laws, we can control the social world and we can mold it. We can conquer this world. So this positivist paradigm, which is the paradigm of the science, are applied and taken by the West, and they applied to the whole world, to all the other societies, because they think all the societies are built on the similar patterns and the principles. So they applied their knowledge of the nature and colonized the whole of the Africa and the Asia and almost all the other world. They enslaved their population, they looted their resources, they exploited their wealth and resources of all the other world. So they built the whole edifice of their empire on this very principle of positivism. But though they built their empires and they colonized and enslaved their population, the history tells us that if the understanding of the natural worlds gave them the understanding of the social world, the complete understanding of the social world, then there should not be any movement of liberation. But history tells us that ultimately all the nations got their independence. At least they launched movements against their colonization and the colonial powers, and to some extent on political level at least, they defeated all these agendas and all the mechanisms. So in this way, the need of the new paradigm arises because of the positive West paradigms actually are not sufficient to understand the social world. Or in other words, we can say through the principles and the knowledge of the natural world, we cannot understand cultural world. So in order to understand the social world, they need, or human beings need, another paradigm. So another paradigm emerged, which is called anti-positivist paradigm or constructivist paradigms, or it is also called interpretivism. These are the German thinkers Kant, Hegel, Max Weber, and Hans Georg Gadamer. They actually criticized on the scientific, the positivist paradigm, and give the idea of a new paradigm to understand the social world. They all new thinkers, or the German thinkers, were agree that these are the two different worlds. The social world and the natural world are the two distinct, separate, different worlds, and we need different principles to understand these worlds. So it is not possible to understand both the worlds on the same principles. So thinking that the world exists without our understanding, and though this world also exists, no doubt, that is the natural world exists without our understanding, but the cultural and the social world exist because of our understanding. This is the society. Society is the combination of the people. This is the result of social phenomena, or the result of human understanding and human construction. So the social world do not exist without the human perception. So our world, our social world, is actually a social construct which is constructed by or developed by human consciousness. So this world is a social fact, and fact and the values are very much interconnected in the social and the cultural world. And in the positivist paradigm, the subjective world or subjective understanding and the values are not related things. So interpretive it is called also because every social phenomenon needs interpretation. And all the interpretations are ultimately connected to the values. So there is always a value judgment in interpretation, and all the social constructions are human mind's construction. So another way, in all the social phenomena, our activities are very much connected to the concept of meaning. So in every reading of the social phenomenon, whether it is a book or the social activity, so that must exist in a language, because our society, our culture is constructed and maintained its meaning and the values in language. So it means all the social phenomena are, whether it is literature or not, or the social activities, and humans are connected to each other. They construct their meaning, they construct their values, the principles in a language.